Welcome back to my second blog post. In the last blog post, we discussed items that fall under the controlled section of home automation. The common thing that they all shared is they could control all devices within one app. Also, in the last blog, we reviewed some smart home items. They were the Nest thermostat, some LED lights, and a security camera. These devices all have common devices they all can communicate with. These devices fall under the controlled section. Now, what are some controllers used to control the gadgets and gizmos talked about in the previous blog posts? Some common controllers are the Apple Home Kit, Amazon Alexa, Google Home, and Smart Home Hub/controllers. Then there's the other controller devices that we are all acquainted with and could be possibly even reading this blog post from or even watching this YouTube video from, which is our smartphones. Controllers allow for the communication of multiple devices through one application instead of having to download or install multiple applications on your phone. This allows for a more organized smart home/smart hub. It's better this way because then all your applications or all your devices like the lights, the security camera, the thermostat, all are in a central location for your devices. Now let's talk about communication. I created a metaphor, if you could call it that, or a example for a simplified way of explaining it. So these devices are all connected to a local network. This is how they're all communicating, obviously. But think of the internet as a string as the string connecting two plastic cups together. One cup is the controlled device, so let's say the lights, and another is the controller, so that would be the other cup. But we'll call the controller cup being the Amazon Alexa. This is a simplified version of looking at this typology. And each time you connect a new device to that typology, it's like attaching a string from the controller cup to the string that's connecting all the devices. This analogy helps to visualize how a command can be spoken into the receiver or the controller cup and is transmitted to the controlled device, being the lights. Now, let's discuss more technical. Home automation uses protocols to transfer signals between devices. Most protocols use radio waves. This is how Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and cell phone signals work in our homes. We use a common network known as a mesh network. Mesh network is an infrastructure that connects directly, dynamically, and non-hierarchically to as many connected devices. This applies to home automation because Google Nest, Amazon Alexa, and other home automation devices use this mesh network to allow for communication within the home network. Now let's talk about even more technical on how the files are transferred between one another. Each device is connected to the internet. That has been mentioned. Now, each device has what is known as an IP address. Each device has a very specific IP address. Let's say Amazon Alexa has 192.168.0.1, and the lights have a 192.168.0.2. So whenever we speak a command into the Alexa, it takes that, turns it into packets, and transfers it through a TCP/UDP connection or port to the internet. The internet finds the IP address or the device it's looking for, and then sends it to that IP address, being the 192.168.0.2, or the lights. Then, afterwards, the lights will send a packet back saying that the request has been completed, and Alexa will say, lights are on. Now, another way Alexa can connect is through Bluetooth. Put it simply, once the devices are paired, it does a handshake. The handshake is a protocol version packet is sent from Alexa to the device. Nope, that's backwards. It's protocol version packet to Alexa. Alexa responds back with device info query to the device. Device info is sent back to Alexa. Alexa sends back a question asking for supported features, and then the device responds back with what it's capable of doing. After that, you're able to make commands and requests to that feature, and of course that's also after you fully configure that device. Next, we will quickly discuss how Alexa works. And I know I just talked about communication for quite a few moments. So, Alexa is always ready to help all the users. All the user has to do is say the trigger word. In most cases, the trigger word is set to default, which is Alexa. Alexa utilizes commands to operate these commands. These commands are spoken by the user. Some commands are Alexa, what's the weather like? Or Alexa, tell me a joke. These commands are not limited to the device, but rather the user. Following the commands, Alexa could also configure a new smart home device using a command. Just say, Alexa, search for devices, and it will look for any devices that are compatible with Alexa. After it finds the device, it will bring you through a guide on how to operate that device. You're of course able to skip out on that guide if you already know how to do it. Let's say you're setting up multiple lights. You don't need to worry about going through that again. Just skip it. Trigger words can be changed to either, of course, default, which is Alexa, or you can change it to Amazon, Computer, Echo, or Ziggy. Alexa utilizes the technology known as keyword spotting. When Alexa detects the wake word, it sends your request to Amazon's secure cloud, and after confirmation, an answer to the request is sent back. But on occasion, Alexa may wake up when no one is around. This is because she might be misinterpreting the wake word. Think of it as you think you hear someone calling your name, so you'll look around to see if someone has called it. Now, let's talk about how to set something up. Setting up Alexa. So, I have here the Alexa device. So, how to configure a new device. We first want to go over to, or I guess it will just prompt it up. But it's searching for Wi-Fi, but it's connected to the Alexa dot that I have off in the corner. So it'll quickly search for a device, and when it finds the device, it'll start to connect to the Wi-Fi. And now it's connected to the Wi-Fi and is setting itself up. It's connecting to its own database, and it's waiting for a response. After that, it will be configured. You can set the language to whichever you want. I speak only English, so I will continue with English. For me, it's in my bedroom, but that's obviously an option you don't have to set. This is just address, so I'll skip over that. Welcome to the Echo Dot. And now it's all set up. So now let's move into setting up a, let's say, security camera. So we're going to press the little plus button, add device, scroll down to whichever feature you have. I have a blink security camera. So we're going to discover the device. Wait a few moments for it to find it. This may take a little bit of time, which is totally fine. That took a few minutes. So now, once the device is found, you just go set up device, choose the location, add to group, and press continue. And then done. Now the camera is set up, and I'm not able to look at it because it uses a different application. But just download that other application to view your camera. But for lights, you're able to control them through the device. That's all for the video. Thanks for watching.